An interesting thing about McKinney Consulting is that you are now ventured into your M&A advisory work. I'm curious what prompted that expansion, and then what sort of value do you bring to that space? I know that there's going to be different, confidentiality things you might not be able to provide examples, but I'm curious, how did you start in that?
Well, good question. And yeah, it's nice to hear your background. It's very similar in many ways.
Hmm.
Uh, the old idea that uh, necessity is the mother of all inventions, right? The necessity of these needs and then people trusting you to come to you and use you is very similar to my background.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Yes. And so on the M&A front, I have been approached for many years by various individuals to get involved in this area. And to be honest with you, I've always felt that in the M&A strategy world, that you always had to have this strong financial acumen or this strong banking or accounting or lawyers expertise and things. And I've been more of an operational guy, from the consumer goods side and from manufacturing R&D, obviously, and business services. So I've always felt like, I'm not sure if that's for me. But finally, someone contacted me that I had trust in, who's also been recognized as an honorary citizen of Seoul, which I humbly say that I am, and that I felt that has a reputation that I could trust, and with specific need. And what started off was a specific need from a contact of mine that this organization had. They wanted to do business with. So we tried it, began to work with them, have some meetings and discuss with it. It didn't work out, that initial one, because of actually it was a French company, which was the product or the business that was one of the investment. They decided to back out, not on this side. So that happens. But anyway, so that kind of got us started in this idea. And so I realized that there is a role that I could play in that, because I have developed over the years many, many contacts. As you know, and I didn't mention, I guess, but I'm also a member of Kestria, which is the largest partnership in executive search worldwide. So I do have global contacts. I have global partners, and we know each other well on a first name basis. We just had our global meetings last week, actually, in Tokyo. Last year, it was in Barcelona, Spain. All right. The year before was in
Hmm.
Lima, Peru. So it is global, and we do know each other. So I do have global contacts and have built these relationships over many years. So to be able to do this matchmaking and to identify business opportunities, business that need investors that need some business, it's not too much a stretch in some of the processes as what I'm used to in executive search and in consulting. And I don't pretend to be a financial expert or a banker, but we have those people. We have those experts on the team. And so that's given me the confidence to move forward. And so I begin to grow my network even more globally now through other organizations and stuff, to be able to perhaps provide, you know, expertise in this area, and knowing people, knowing how to work with people. Obviously, I've been doing this for a long time, so I'm very comfortable talking with senior leaders, because that's who I'm used to working with. Uh, and also, I guess, I think another thing that gives me confidence in this role is having been doing executive search now for about 23 years. I'm not sure if people understand this though, but oftentimes we will work within industries with particular candidates and particular clients that know more about what we're talking about than we do. Now, let me explain that. Think about this. If I'm looking for a high level engineer or a CFO for a certain company, there's no way I would have the knowledge of the depth that this person would have unless I had had that CFO experience. But I have to know a little bit enough about it, be able to have the conversation, be able to separate, well, this CFO candidate A and this difference of this CFO candidate B, what their difference is, what's their strength, weakness. I have to know certain things, or even the client company, right? But I have to have confidence to be able to talk with them, understand very quickly, understand their business model, understand what it takes to be successful in there, and then add value. So that I think that's not for everyone. that takes. Sometimes I tell people I feel we're sometimes part missionary, we're part TV, radio broadcasters. It's reporting on a story that we just learned something about. So I think it does take a multi-talented, I don't know how you describe this, diverse type of person to be able to do that. And I see those same skill sets being required in the M&A world.